Hello everybody, and welcome back to another How to Draw video. Sorry about not having a video on Thursday, but I was caught up with some stuff, so I'm not going to bore you with details. Just know that I'm just a day late, so that's all good. But anyway, today's video is on drawing arms. Before we get into the video, I'm going to pop up this little thing up. This is a study of the anatomy of the arm that I did. Basically, just to give you guys a reference of the muscles and all. The basic groups you just got to worry about are labeled here are the deltoid or the shoulder muscles, which are generally grouped up into three. It's the one in front, one in the middle, and one in the back. Very easy. You got your bicep muscle, which is kind of your big chunky one that people like to flex. It connects right up, as you can see, into the deltoid and into the pec as well, which you'll see later. Then you have your tricep. The two in the back, there's actually two of them. They kind of split in the middle, as you can see here. They split because the elbow comes in from there, and the elbow actually doesn't have any muscle over it. That's why if you feel your elbow, it's just bone. Around the elbow, right on the forearm, there's a few muscles. I labeled the supinator just because I like the name, but really, there's a whole bunch of muscles there. You don't really need to know their names. It's just good to kind of know where they are generally. Generally, if you lift your hand with your palm facing up and you feel your wrist there, you'll see that it's a direct line going from the center of your palm all the way up to your bicep. That's where that splits. I don't have it here, except for that little bottom image you can kind of see. But you don't have to worry. We'll get all into that in the drawing video as we go. So why don't we just stop with the babble and let's get right into this video. It's a decent length, so let's get going. So starting off here, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to quickly sketch in the chest or the rib cage because the arm obviously connects to the rib cage through the collarbone, which connects to the shoulder bones. The collarbone right there, you can see I'm just kind of doing light sketching, but that line right there can go as the collarbone. You don't have to really get into hyper detail, but just know that that's where the shoulder eventually connects. Now here I'm just throwing in the head just to kind of, just a nice little placeholder because I like to do that just so I can know, okay, here's the head and the neck and all, and then I'll put the shoulder muscle in just more or less for reference for myself and for you to know kind of how things connect. And here I'm just going to quickly sketch in just a line for the arm, like just a line, and that's a good way to start all your drawings. And you should always start with the line, and I'm just showing you the two different positions of it, out and down, just kind of show you, compare the length of the different parts. The upper arm should be about the length of the rib cage, maybe a little down into the waist, while the forearm should be a little longer, specifically because the hand connects to it. So just remember the length of the body parts in comparison to the full body. And here I'm just kind of throwing in a line for the waist. It's not really perfect, but it doesn't have to be. This isn't about that. And I'm throwing in the leg just so you can see kind of where the hand stops on the leg. It's about center of your upper leg. So just remember that length right there. And that's the only reason why I did that. Now here I'm actually going to start doing the rough tubular shapes just so I know where the thickness would be so I can put the anatomy on top of it. And with this, you don't even have to be that complicated. Just simple structure, see? And even here, I'm just kind of putting in the shape of the outer bit of the forearm just as reference for myself of where it is. And this is how I sketch the arm. And once I get done this, it's basically just adding on anatomy over top of it. And with my style, I'm very simplistic. I don't put tons of detail. I just throw in anatomy where it needs to be. So here, that's generally all I really need to do to get the basic structure down. Now here I zoomed in a little bit for you guys, just so I can show you the more detailed stuff. I know it's a little blurry, and I know my hand's kind of casting a shadow. I'm still getting used to stupid positioning. But here now I'm actually going to start putting in the actual detail. And there I show you how to connect the shoulder and the neck, because the neck actually goes in between two of the muscles. So that's why I have the outer of the shoulder kind of coming on top of that line. And that's important to know what muscles sit on what. And here I'm just throwing in the bicep because the pecs, because the pecs do come into there, and that's where the bicep comes out from underneath where the shoulder and the bicep meet. So they're right at that meeting point. And at the top, I just kind of did a beveled look for the tricep and all. And even here, you can see I'm just throwing in basic details. Right there, that's a line for the forearm. And it's just to kind of let you know where the muscle is. It's not a lot of really overly complicated because the arm itself isn't too complicated. It's just knowing where a line should be. And here I'm just putting in the hand just for let you know which way the hand's turning, and that's why the muscles look the way they do. Because remember, when you turn just your wrist, you'll feel every muscle in your arm pretty much moving at the same time. They all twist, and you have to recognize that everything's going to move that way. And here I'm just going to quickly do the bottom as well, just for completionist sake. That's just kind of how I am. And here we go on to the next little thing. I'm going to do that arm over here just so it's kind of on its own for for pretty much my own sake. And because it was getting a little muddied there, putting the arm where the other one was, and I didn't want to get into the shoulder. So here I'm just repeating the same step, just quickly sketching in the arm. This time I skipped the whole line thing and just went right to the bulk, cylindrical shapes. And of course, got to put the fist in because fists are cool. Just to let you know which way the fist is turned. Got to put that lovely shoulder muscle in because that's a big part of your arm anatomy is that shoulder because that's where everything connects into. And here, you see right there is the elbow. That little jut thing is the actual elbow. That's all you need from that angle. Because the elbow is very subtle in itself. It's the muscles that you really need to take the time into. And there I'm just kind of separating the two muscles the two part of the muscles in the deltoid that you see. And here we go into the bicep. Here I draw mostly a straight line just because as I said, it's my style. If you want to really show the bulge of that forearm muscle, go right ahead. There's no problem with that. And there I show the muscle itself. I think that's a supinator right there. And on the other side, it also bulges in that same pattern. But again, you do what you want with the style that you work with. And of course, I'm a completionist, so I have to do the fist too. Oh, man. Alright, now we're going to move on to another arm. This time I'm actually going to show the fist facing palm up towards us. So basically the structure is the exact same thing when you just do the basic tube outline and structure set here. You just do the same exact thing. You do a tube, I put a circle for where the joint is, excuse me, and then I just finish that off right here for the bottom of the arm. And I'm showing you that the fist is going the opposite direction, which is very important because as soon as you turn that fist around, that instantly changes the way the muscles are because the muscles twist and turn with the body like that. So that's just something you really got to think about. And sorry for the camera movement here. I'm just getting it out of the way of my eyes. That's all. And here, just real quick, I'm throwing in the pec muscles and where the arm connects, just so for reference you can kind of see where it picks up into. Now here I'm actually going to start getting into the detail of the arm itself in kind of a two-step pattern for myself. This is kind of, first I'm just kind of laying out the bulk of that muscle area, which really, because you're facing it out, the bicep kind of sticks out more and it really takes over that whole area. But there are muscles around it and behind it, which I will do in a second. But for now, we're just going to leave that until I get back to it. And here, I kind of reverse the process of the chunkiness, showing that the arm is turned the other way. So the chunk is going to point outward now. But you still get that point on the inside as well because that's just the way the muscles work. That's the shape of the muscles. And completionist, got to do the fingers. I always have trouble just not doing certain parts even for these videos, but oh well. Now right here is where I actually start reshaping things to better fit the way I know the muscles should work, especially after looking at anatomy charts and such like that. These are the forearm muscles that I was speaking of. As you can see, they just go straight down your wrist, and they connect in the center, and the bicep tucks in right there. And over here, I show the tricep because you still see the tricep, and there is an outer muscle there with that little bop I did, that little boop I did right there. But you don't have to worry about that one. Just remember that the tricep can still be seen, but it's not as predominant. So mostly focus on these muscles. And right there, that's just kind of a line where the actual muscles kind of stop on themselves and kind of twist on themselves down by the wrist. It's not something you have to really care about or worry about. So that was just something for reference so you can see that there is kind of stuff working there. And here I'm just, again, showing you that the bicep doesn't go all the way to the outside in this shot. You can still see the tricep. You can see where the other muscles kind of poke out right there. And here I'm just, again, throwing in the shoulder muscles just, again, to show you, hey, this is where they are, and this is definitely something you should think about when you're doing it. Just big old bulges right there, and then the outer bulge right here. And that's the two that you see from this angle. Obviously, there is a third in the back, but you can't see it. And the muscle strands just kind of pick off from there into the pec. So that's basically the structure of that. And that's pretty much all you need to know about that part of the arm, really. Alright, and here we have the final image, just to kind of let you see. I think I'm actually going to post this on my DeviantArt, and I will link it in the bottom, just so you guys can kind of see a little better quality of the final structure. I'll also leave a link to the arm muscle chart that I made, just so you can see it. There are better ones out there, and I do apologize if this one wasn't as good as other ones, but I'm just trying to give you, I guess, my perspective and my thought process on arms in general. Obviously, with my style, if you were to look at my page and look at the way I draw very simplistically and very I guess I should say, I don't want to say under detailed because I don't believe in under detailing. That is a bad thing. But with more cartoonish style and very simplistic style, I do like that more. But it doesn't matter. It's about your style. This was just a rough guide to kind of give you some help if you need a little help knowing where the arm is and all that. If you need any other help with arms or something I didn't show that you really want me to show, please let me know. I can make another video, or I can, just point you in the right direction. So leave a comment on what you thought and what you would like, and I will see you guys in the next video next week. Don't know what it's going to be, but we'll see. Leave requests if you want. Also, you can check out, I have a website now. There's not much on it, but I am going to make an official video for my website soon. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I do have a website. It's linked down below. It's not .com and all fancy because I don't have money for .com name, but it's easy to remember. It's Eric Fares .dtk. I was about to say D. But yeah, I'll leave a link. That way it's easier for you guys to and I'll put a little blurb up here, right here. Blurb. And you guys can go check it out. So thank you for watching this video. Leave a like, leave all comments and all the lovely stuff that I wish you guys would do more often. Peace. See you guys later.